Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 13. And I want to get right into it because I was so livid at the end of this episode. Sutton, there is no reason why you should be apologizing to Lisa Rinna about anything. Lisa Rinna would have gotten my behind to kiss and I would have left out of her house. And Rinna, the audacity of you to say that somebody else made a fool of themselves. You made a complete fool of yourself during this last scene. And you can't even say humiliated correctly. I'm so sick and tired of the gaslighting, the constant ganging up on Sutton, treating her like she's a punching bag. And they are so pressed at the fact that Garcelle is a good friend to her and sticks up for her. They wish that Sutton was on an island all by herself because they want to treat her like crap. But let me not jump ahead. Let's just get right on into this recap because we don't have a minute to spare. So we unfortunately start this episode off with Lisa Rinna. She's at home and she is calling up all the ladies to invite them over to her house to have a Rinna Rosé tasting. Now she says that when they went on their Provence trip a few years ago, she says that that's when she decided that she wanted to create her own wine. I remember that trip because that's when Teddy was still on the show and they came up with that stupid group, the Fox Force 5. But I digress. So anyhow, as she's calling them all up, we learned that Kyle, Kathy, Crystal, and Diana all have COVID, so they won't be in attendance. And can we discuss how Diana got maybe 30 seconds of screen time this entire episode? I said, won't he do it?
Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Now we jump to this next scene with Sutton at home with her kids. And I'm not even gonna hold you, but not a whole lot happened, so we can breeze right on past it, okay? Sutton, I love you, sis, but you making chicken salad and just talking to your kids wasn't all that interesting. But I will say that that chicken salad did look delicious. And also, can we talk about the chicken salad sandwich at Potbelly? Because my absolute favorite.
I love it. I love it.
So now we jump to the next scene with Garcelle and Dorit meeting up for dinner. And Garcelle says that her and Dorit have gotten past all the hurdles in the past and how she's forgiven Dorit for calling her a bully last season. Now, me personally, Dorit would have never gotten my forgiveness. Me and her would not be talking. Dorit couldn't say more than a hello or a goodbye to me. That's how petty I am. I'm just not that forgiving. I've told you guys this in several recaps. If there's a grudge, I'm gonna hold it, okay? And for Garcelle to be the only Black woman on this cast, and she has yet to raise her voice or curse anybody out, and you have Erika acting a fool, showing her entire ass, Rinna doing the same thing, and for Dorit to say that Garcelle is the bully, and not direct that towards those two, it's very telling and it's very comical. And I don't really believe that Dorit was that sorry. I just think that she's sorry that she received a lot of backlash when she said it. So anyhow, Dorit is asking Garcelle how she's doing. Garcelle says that she's doing great and how she's a bit nervous and excited because in the coming days, she's going to be doing the audio portion of her book. So Garcelle goes on to say that she had a lot to say in her book, and we learn that she actually had an incident with Bill Cosby back in the day, and it was very scary. Now, when she said that, I was like, this is just so crazy that this man got away with terrorizing so many young women. It's disgusting. Then Garcelle adds that things that she thought that she was at peace about and things that she thought she had buried, they've now come up again and they're still haunting her since she started writing this book. And that's normal because we all go through a lot of things in life and there's quite a lot that you stuff down, you don't address, you just move on and you go about your day and you think, okay, I'm okay, I'm past that. And then when it gets brought up again, you realize I'm still pissed about that. I'm still hurt about that. I'm still sad about that. Like, that's normal. And I can only imagine how you feel writing a book about your life and you're retelling and recounting all these stories and incidents that happened to you. I'm not surprised that she still feels a way about some things. So now we have Garcelle asking Dorit about PK's recent DUI. And of course you have Dorit getting defensive saying, no, it wasn't a DUI, it was an alleged DUI. The police never arrested him, they took him down to the station, but he blew under the limit. Now I said, Dorit, you forget that in last week's episode, PK admit that when he blew the first time, it came up over the limit. And then he got to blow again, and then he blew under the limit. Okay, so technically speaking, he was over the limit, sis. But the police definitely went easy on him. And I was screaming because when Garcelle was like, I read that the police actually drove PK home. Like, if this were a black person, they would not have done that. And I said, Garcelle, that's a fact, because black people's interactions with the police are extremely different than a white person's interactions with the police. That would have never happened. And it wasn't lost on me that Dorit was not happy to talk about that because she was so quick to change the topic. Because now she starts asking about Rinna's wine tasting, and she starts asking Garcelle if Erika is going to have anything to drink when they're there. So Garcelle tells Dorit, well, it's funny that you bring up Erika, because a few nights ago, me and her went out for drinks, and before Garcelle can say anything more, you have Dorit interrupting her asking if she believes that Erika has a problem. Now, Dorit, you don't really have to ask anybody else that. You have two eyes of your own, and you've seen Erika's behavior firsthand. So why do you need to ask Garcelle's opinion about whether or not she thinks that Erika has a problem? So anyhow, Garcelle says that Erika needs to figure it out for herself, but then she reveals that Erika told her that she can't mix her meds and alcohol together. And on top of that, one of the nights where she got super drunk, she fell and hit her head. So Dorit's like, oh my gosh, she fell and hit her head? Like, what? She didn't tell me that. I can't believe that. So now Garcelle brings up Erika's comment about Sutton being a liability and how she wasn't feeling that statement. So she's like, what does she mean by that? I mean, is it such a bad thing that I stick up for my friend? And I feel like Erika was saying to me that we would all like you more if you weren't friends with Sutton. And I was thinking, ding, 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 Garcelle, that's exactly what it is. They are very upset that you and Sutton are actually good friends and that you have each other's backs. And they're also low-key pissed at the fact that you two are the fan favorites and everybody's rooting for your friendship. So it's a lot of things at play here. But best believe, Garcelle, they definitely would like you a bit more if you did ditch Sutton. And Dorit trying to play dense in this scene, asking Garcelle, well, what do you think she meant by that? And it's like, Dorit, come on. You know exactly what Erika meant. And let me just say, I would not be upset or surprised if Dorit is either demoted or fired after this season because she's bringing a whole lot of nothing. Now, this next scene with Miss Erika at home with her team, we can just breeze right on past this because I was bored, nobody cares. Erika talking about how she wants dick every 5 seconds and then discussing how she wants to be a dominatrix. I said, well, girl, if that's what you want to do, then so be it, but nobody cares. Everything that she says and does just feels so calculated, like I just want a moment so bad to have some screen time. It gives very much thirsty and desperate. Beverly Hills just needs a complete cast shakeup. Half of this cast has got to go. But now we jump to the next scene with Sutton and Rinna meeting up for lunch. So Sutton starts asking Rinna questions about her new wine collection coming out and if she's excited about Rinna Rosé. And so Rinna's talking about it, and then Sutton interjects and says that Rinna should have consulted with her because she has great taste. So now Rinna claps back and says, girl, I don't need to consult with you on anything because I have great taste as well. Now, Sutton, you're my girl and all, but I thought that statement was kind of weird and a little bit obnoxious because for you to act like you're the only person in this group to have great taste, Like, girl, I need you to calm down. Second of all, why would Rinna reach out to you in regards to her wine line when you guys don't get along? So now they toast, and of course, all the drama between them gets brought up. So Rinna says, I don't know why people think that I'm such a bitch. I'm really not. Now, Rinna, here's where I have to get you together, because on what planet do you think that you're not a bitch? You are constantly gaslighting somebody, throwing somebody under the bus, backstabbing your own friends, the way you did Kim Richards, Lisa Vanderpump, Yolanda, Denise Richards. You did Garcelle dirty last year. Like, let's not play these games. Rinna, you're not a good person. So Rinna says, I don't want to carry the anger that I had towards you. I want to let it go. I want to move on. You said you're sorry and it's okay. Like, I'm over it. She's clearly not over it, because for you to keep talking about it and to keep bringing it up, that's a telltale sign that you're still angry at the person. Also, let's go into the real reason why you're so angry at Sutton. You're angry because she got you together at Harry Hamlin's dinner. That's the real reason. Sutton had the receipts to prove you wrong about the whole table fiasco. You were trying to say that she was lying about paying for you and Harry's seats, but she actually wasn't. She had her American Express bill to prove that she paid for the whole entire thing. Had you won that argument and proved Sutton was lying, we wouldn't hear the end of it. But you got bested, you're still upset about it, and you want to take your anger out on Sutton. Then Rinna goes on to say that it was kind of fun torturing Sutton. And I was thinking, Sutton, that was your cue to get up and leave Rinna at this table. I'll be damned if I have somebody laughing and joking about torturing me. And I was really annoyed when Sutton said, well, at least you know that I can take it. And Rinna was like, oh, of course, because if you couldn't take it, then I wouldn't do it. And it's like, excuse me? I want y'all to realize that without Sutton, none of you guys would have a storyline. And instead of trying to give her a hard time, y'all need to be thanking her. And for Christmas, you need to send Sutton a back brace, because she's been carrying this entire show. Her and Garcelle. So Rinna says that she's a pussycat, and Sutton says, no, actually, you're like the Grinch. And so they start laughing, and then Rinna says that she has a big mouth and a big heart. And once again, we see that Rinna is delusional, because I have yet to see Rinna and this big heart appear since she's been on this show. She has been nasty, vile, two-faced since the day she got on. So now we jump to the day of Rinna's Rosé tasting at her house, and we see the women getting ready. Mind you, Kyle, Crystal, and Diana will not be in attendance because they all have COVID. So we see the first guest arrive, and it's Cherie. I thought Cherie looked great. Now, Miss Cherie, I have a slight bone to pick with you, because I don't like all this ass kissing you're doing when it comes to Lisa Rinna. You saw how Rinna did your best friend last year. So now we see Dorit and Erika arrive, and as they're all talking, Rinna offers them all something to drink, and when she goes on to ask Erika what she would like, Erika asks for some tea. So Cherie makes a joke and says, tea? Like, that's gonna warm you up. And then Erika says, well, I mean, you've seen me these past few events, like I've shown my ass, and plus, medication and alcohol don't mix. So now Dorit says in her confessional that after hearing what Garcelle told her the other night, she's kind of worried about Erika, like, should she keep an eye out on her? Should she just leave her alone? And I was thinking, Dorit, at the end of the day, Erika is a grown-ass woman who's going to make the decisions that she chooses to make, and there's nothing that you or anybody else can do about it. Now we see Garcelle arrive, and she came in with this bright yellow Balenciaga sweater dress. I thought it was so cute. And when she walked in the door, Dorit was like, oh, like, okay, I see you all logoed out the way you got on me last year, and now you have all these logos across your body. And it was like, Dorit, all that wasn't needed. Garcelle was just being silly and playful with you last year, sis. Nobody was trying to come at you about your Louis Vuitton ensemble that you were wearing last year, okay? It was cute. Like, let Garcelle come in with her logos just like you come in with your logos. So now Harry Hamlin comes out to sit with them, and they're joking around about how much work did Rinna do setting this whole thing up. Was it her or was it you? And then the conversation goes from playful to sexual because Cherie starts asking Harry about how good are Lisa Rinna's blowjobs. So she says, what would you say in a Yelp review? And how would you rate them on a scale from 1 to 5? So they're all laughing, and Harry says that he would give Rinna a 10. I just think it's so funny that now we see Harry Hamlin a lot more often in these scenes, because before, we never really saw him. And I think that the rumors about their marriage and all that speculation, I think they both said, you know what, make an appearance so that people will stop talking about us and stop saying that, you're running off cheating on me. Because, baby, every time Rinna is at the house, Harry's right there with her. So now we see Harry get up, and now the ladies are just talking amongst themselves, and the conversation really took a sharp turn. Erika brings up Diana's party and how she was having a conversation with Crystal about Crystal's eating disorder. So now Dorit interjects and says, well, me and Crystal recently went to dinner at Craig's the other night, and she told me that she's been vomiting every single day. So everybody is shocked. Rinna's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Like, my daughter was going through this at 15 years old. Crystal needs to get some help. So Sutton is appalled. She's like, I don't like when we discuss people when they're not there. I'm not qualified to speak on this, so I'm not even going to touch this. And I was right there with you, Sutton, because what Dorit did was disgusting. You do not bring up somebody's personal business, especially of that nature. If Crystal confided in you about her vomiting every single day, why would you feel the need to repeat that? That was messed up and you know it. You were trying to be messy and trying to bring the girl some hot tea, but that was a fail. There are certain things that people have confided in me about that will never leave my mouth. And that should have been one of those things that you should not have said anything about. Let Crystal tell that if she wants to tell it. But that is not your place. I'm glad that Sutton said, I want no parts of this conversation, because they're the types to reveal this kind of news and then lie and say that Sutton brought this up and said it. So it's time for the wine tasting to begin. And Rinna, as much as it pains me to say it, I have to give credit where credit is due. The packaging of those bottles looks really pretty. I will give you that. So they're all tasting the wine and everybody loves it. Garcelle is like, I don't normally like Brut, but I love yours. Sutton loves the Rosé. You have Dorit saying that it tastes like the south of France. So it looks like Rinna Rosé might be a big success. And it was so funny because everybody at the table was drunk. You had Rinna and Cherie over there giggling. Garcelle's knocking one of the wine glasses over. The wine spilled on Sutton's wax denim. And she was so annoyed. She was like, really? And Garcelle is my kind of girl because she was like, Rinna, I'm good and tipsy. Is there any food? Because I'm hungry. And when Rinna said, oh yeah, I have charcuterie and pizza. And she was like, good. I feel the same way. If you want to get me drunk, then you have to feed me. So since everybody's in great spirits, they're all tipsy and loose, Dorit addresses Garcelle and she's like, Garcelle, I have a friend who really wants to meet you. He likes you a lot. He thinks that you're the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, and he would love to be introduced to you. So Garcelle's listening. She's all ears. And so the women are like, okay, well, what does he look like? Is he cute? Is he fine? Erika's like, is he rich? Does he have money? Let's get down to the brass tacks. So Dorit says, look, this is a man who is serious and he is not looking for just sex. So now Erika interjects and she turns the conversation back to herself. I'm like, we were talking about Garcelle. I wanted to hear more about this man. Erika, like I have said in previous recaps, it is not all about you. Let somebody else have the spotlight for 2 seconds, please. Erika is another person on this cast who is very self-centered. So it's so funny how they get on Sutton about being self-centered when it's actually Erika and Kyle. So Erika says, I got some great head last night by this guy, and how she's been having great sex with the same person for a while now. So they're all looking at Erika like, oh, okay, like, do tell. And again, I would have been annoyed if I were Garcelle, because how do we start talking about you now? Like, it was about me. It's not about you. So now Dorit goes on to ask Erika, well, aren't you dating them? And Erika says, no, we're not dating, it's just sex. And I don't know, for some reason, I feel like Erika's lying about this mystery man. I don't know why I feel like this man is imaginary, he doesn't exist. Because anytime somebody has to go out of their way to let you know that they're having sex and they're seeing this man, is usually not the case. Now, mind you, it's apparent that Erika is tipsy, and so Dorit whispers to Erika, like, girl, aren't you supposed to not be drinking because you're on medication? And Erika's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? I'm fine. I can drink this. Like, I'm good. And it's like, but you just said you can't drink any alcohol with medication. Wine is alcohol, sis. You do know that, right? So Dorit backs off. She's like, I don't want any smoke with Erika. Then she says that she feels kind of torn because she's not trying to be judgmental, but she does want to be a good friend. And like I said, if you're not saying what Erika wants to hear, it's a lost cause. So you might as well save your breath and let her do what she wants to do. So now the wine tasting is over, and we see the ladies split up into groups. Garcelle and Erika go off to the side to talk, and then the rest of the ladies go up and we see them talking as well. So Garcelle starts off the conversation and she tells Erika that she enjoyed going out with her a few nights ago, but she was a little bit thrown off by Erika saying that Sutton was a liability. So Erika says, well, I just feel like you need to clean up after Sutton's mess and take care of her. She's a big girl. She can stand on her own 2 feet. Then she goes on to say that Garcelle's a great friend to people, how she was a good friend to Denise. But when it comes to Sutton, Sutton puts herself in trouble and gets herself in hot water, and Garcelle will stick up for her even when she's wrong. So Garcelle's confused, and she's like, but isn't that what friendship's about? Like, you have each other's backs? And I was on Garcelle's side the whole time. Like, that's what a friendship is. Also, let's not forget the fact that Kyle, Erika, Rinna, and Dorit always have each other's backs when they are clearly in the wrong. They are always ganging up on somebody, trying to ice somebody out, gaslighting somebody, and they all have each other's backs. So why is it different when Garcelle and Sutton have each other's backs? Explain it to me like I'm 5, because I don't understand it. It's a double standard, because those 4 are always covering for each other, and they'll be wrong as 2 left shoes. But you want to be mad at Garcelle for having Sutton's back. And let's not forget, the things that come out of Rinna and Erika's mouths are disgusting. So for you to try to compare what Sutton has said, it's apples and oranges. Then Erika bringing up how Sutton said, well, I didn't have a gun to my head after Dorit got robbed. I was like, okay, she shouldn't have said that, but you're sitting up here bullying people, threatening people, calling them the C word. That's not much better either. You have said some really disgusting things, Erika, and you want to act like you're this angel, and it's like, girl, what? Sutton hasn't said a 10th of the things that you have said. So Garcelle says, yeah, that wasn't right when she said that, but, at the end of the day, that's my friend. Then Garcelle says that she wants Sutton to join in on this conversation because she thinks that Sutton should be here. So Erika says, no, I don't want Sutton to be in this conversation. And I'm thinking, why? You have all this mouth, you have so much to say about her, why can't she be here? So Garcelle says, look, at the end of the day, I come from a big family and we all have each other's backs, so that's normal to me to do that in a friendship too. So then she says, Erika, do you think that I would stick up for you? And Erika says, well, not really. I think it would be conditional. Like, I don't think that you would have my back the way you have Sutton's, and that's cool because you guys are closer, but no, I don't think that you would have my back. Then she adds on that she doesn't think that Garcelle would cut her any slack, and how Garcelle has her mind made up about her and doesn't believe her regarding the case. So Garcelle says, well, that's true because no, I don't believe everything that you've told me, but I do think that I would stick up for you. I really could have screamed when Erika said in her confessional that Garcelle has her sights on her and making her to be the bad guy. And I was thinking, Erika, you're the one making yourself look like the bad guy. You are always trying to place blame on somebody else. Like, take accountability for your actions. It's just so annoying. How are you angry at somebody not believing the BS that you're trying to sell them? Be happy that Garcelle's being honest to your face, like, hey girl, you're cool and all, but I don't know if I believe everything that you've been telling me. Now we see Garcelle and Erika go up to join the rest of the women. And a quick side note, when Erika and Garcelle were talking to the side, and we saw Cherie, Rinna, and Sutton joking around, Cherie, I was not here for you saying that Rinna is nurturing and a sweet soul. I said, girl, you saw how Rinna did your friend. And like I said, I need you to tighten up and stop all this ass kissing. So Erika and Garcelle have joined the rest of the ladies. And baby, Sutton wanted all the smoke because the minute they sat down, Sutton addresses Erika and she says, so why did you call me a liability? If you have something to say to me, say it to my face. Don't tell Garcelle, okay? Like, I don't appreciate that. So we see a flashback of 20 minutes earlier. Garcelle pulled Sutton to the side and told her what Erika said about her. So Erika says, well, I said that because Garcelle is always cleaning up after you. So Erika says, you went after me last year, now Diana this year. And I was thinking, Erika, shut the F up. You went after Sutton last year. Sutton was not rude to you. All Sutton said was she had a few questions. She wanted to get to the bottom of what was happening. She consulted with her lawyer, rightfully so. Okay, anybody would be nervous in that situation. To have a friend being indicted for all this fraud and swindling victims, you want to make sure, oh my gosh, since I'm friends with her, we're on this TV show together, could I be indicted? Like, that's not abnormal to have questions. You were the one cursing at her, calling her everything but a child of God. So how did Sutton go after you? And Sutton did not go after Diana. Diana went after Sutton being nasty and rude. Then Erika adds that Sutton gets into spats with everybody in the group and Garcelle is always there to defend her. So now Garcelle jumps in and says, but why do you make it a bad thing that I'm a loyal friend? Like, I don't get it. And Garcelle, like I said earlier, we already know why they're really mad at you and Sutton being friends. They want you guys separated. They want to destroy the both of you guys. And they're mad that you're the fan favorites. You guys have a real friendship. And their friendship is surface level and based on being the mean girls. So Erika answers Garcelle's question in a roundabout way, and she says, because Lisa Rinna did you wrong about the whole sauce incident, you were in support of Sutton when she went on national TV to embarrass Rinna about the whole Elton John saga. And I was thinking, absolutely. If somebody does me wrong, and then one of my friends goes out of their way to embarrass an enemy of mine, I'm here for it, because I would do the same thing. Also, let's not act like Rinna has been a saint when she's on Watch What Happens Live. She shades her castmates. So, I mean, Sutton being nasty to her and airing her and Harry Hamlin out for not paying for their seats at the Elton John charity serves her right. So, of course, Rinna now has to jump in and create an entire scene. And she says, you hurt me, you hurt Harry, and you need to figure out why you want to hurt me so badly. So now Sutton says, I had no idea I was going to hurt you this badly. I'm sorry. And here's where I was screaming. Rinna, you just had lunch with Sutton a few days ago saying that you were past this, you were fine, you were okay. So why are you bringing this back up again saying that you're upset with Sutton? And let's talk about your behavior. Let's examine why you've been so evil and so vile to people who you considered good friends. Before you want to psychoanalyze Sutton, let's psychoanalyze you. You have a lot of deep-seated insecurities and jealousies because the way that you do people is not right. Sutton, I need to get you together. I am so sick and tired of you apologizing to these women. What are you apologizing for? I would have stood 10 toes down in it like, yes, girl, I embarrassed you on TV. I aired you out. You didn't pay. I showed the receipts that I paid for the table, and it is what it is. There would be no apology coming from me. So now Rinna has the nerve to start cursing at Sutton, and I was just livid, like, how dare you? Sutton, stop being so nice. I would have cursed Rinna clean out. I can't stand people who want to be the victim and the villain at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Rinna and Erika think that they can talk to people any old raggedy way, but nobody else can return that same energy. So Sutton says, I don't think you should be cursing like this. I said I'm sorry. Then she says, look, I can't make you forgive me. Either you're going to forgive me or you're not, but I do like you. So now Rinna starts mocking her accent and just the disrespect of it all. I said Rinna is just such a loser. How juvenile of you to start mimicking her accent. So now Rinna says that Sutton doesn't respect her and how Sutton needs to come clean and be honest about the real reason why she tried to air her out on national TV. I was like, Sutton already explained why she did it. You already know why she did it. She was defending Garcelle and she wanted to air you out. Because if I recall, when Sutton did it, she was like, well, Rinna wants to make a big deal about Garcelle not saying thank you about the sauce, but she didn't say thank you to me when I paid for that table. That's why she did it, sis. So at this point, Rinna is damn near spiraling. She's like, you know what, Sutton? I've been talking so poorly about you behind your back. I've been talking about you like a dog to everybody. So Sutton is like, okay, girl, you already told me this at lunch. Like, I know, I'm not fazed by it. Like, what are we talking about here? Now, Sutton, I was here for it when you said, Rinna, you know what? You talk out both sides of your face, and I said, that's exactly what it is. Because on one hand, you have Rinna sitting here saying that she's okay, she's forgiven Sutton. Now she's saying that she's still angry and she can't stand Sutton. First of all, you have nothing to be mad at Sutton about. If anything, Sutton should be angry at you. You're the one who's been nasty to her. So Rinna starts screaming at Sutton again, and she's like, you know what, Sutton, F you, get the F out of my house, like leave right now, I don't want you here. And you could see that Sutton is in shock. She cannot believe that Rinna is talking to her like this. I said, Rinna, you are so blessed that you're not on another franchise, because I know quite a few housewives would have thrown a drink in your face for that. Honestly, I would have left your house before you even told me to get out. The first time you even started cursing at me, that would have been my cue to leave.
Oh! Shout out to everybody. I had fun.
I gotta be good.
And just when you think that Rinna's gonna stop all this BS, she starts screaming out, don't you ever talk about my husband or my kids, okay? I will hunt you down. So everybody's looking at her like, girl, what? And it was like, nobody has talked anything about your kids. Like, what are you saying? And she kept saying it. And I was like, you know that you're making yourself look like a fool, right? So Rinna is going on and on and on. And she's like, you tried to humiliate us, but you humiliated yourself. You're the one who looks like an effing fool. And then she says, you humiliated me, Harry, the charity tenfold. And I was like, but didn't you just say that Sutton didn't humiliate you and that she just humiliated herself? Which one is it, sis? Rinna, you need some help. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need help. You sounded absolutely insane in this last part. I was just in shock, like, is this really happening right now? Sutton, you have the composure of a saint, because I would have went off on Rinna so badly. Rinna, this had better be your last season. You don't need to come back in any capacity. You bring this show down. You have no storyline. You are determined to make Sutton the villain when it's clear who the real villains are. And just so we're clear, you played yourself in this scene, and you are the one who made a real ass of yourself. But y'all, that was the episode. As you guys can see, it had me heated. I mean, that final scene, I was just too through. But guys, thank you all so much for watching my recap. I hope you all enjoyed. And you guys already know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.